Chris Avina with American Outdoor News. Today we're here with Hal Shaffer, the host of Drop Zone TV, and his new show, Renovation Hunters.
Yes, sir. Man, thank you for having me here.
It's
an honor to be here. What a great publication. What a great way to be able to get the publication. You know, that's I drive long distances, like 20 plus hours at a time sometimes, and there is nothing like listening to or being able to, you know, go digitally and get this kind of information to make time pass as you go down the road. You know, it's awesome.
Well, I think our goals are the same. We're looking to preserve our way of life, for future generations, and everybody knows about Drop Zone. We've had that show for 12
since
years?
2009. Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, long time. So it's 14 years now. Actually, it'll be 14 years this year. So it's been a long time. And you know, the great thing about it, Drop Zone, is, you know, I got to do it with one of my best friends in the world. I mean, he's basically my brother, Greg Zippadelli.
Sure.
You know, he's a Hall of Fame crew chief. He will be in the Hall of Fame crew chief, one of the winningest crew chiefs of all time for NASCAR. Him and Tony Stewart are brothers, and naturally we've all become good friends, and you know, he still makes his living the hard way. But if it hadn't have been for Drop Zone and Greg Zippadelli, this new venture never would have happened, right?
Yep.
So Renovation Hunters was kind of born off of Drop Zone. We were at our hunting camp in Missouri, and it's a 100-year-old house. And needless to say, it needed some work. But you know, hunting camp was always just a place to lay your head down and, you know, get up, eat a meal, and, you know, go hunting. It never had to be nice. But the truth of the matter is, guys, we need to make these places a little more relevant for the whole family, right? So we said, man, it'd be such a great idea if we could renovate this. So I had an idea, and Crescent Tools has been longtime partners at Drop Zone. And so I talked to Crescent and said, what if we renovated this place on the show? And they were like, oh my gosh, that'd be a great idea and everything. So we come up with a plan, and we renovated the Missouri hunting camp, and then we called it Pimp My Deer Camp. But the word pimp didn't go over well for TV, and when after we got halfway through it, I got to thinking, I said, you know what? There's a show here that's worthy for the cause that I basically do the outdoors for, and that's preserving it for generations to come.
Sure.
Because the problem is, as you well know, that as these hunting camps or fishing camps or just mountain cabins or whatever, as they get passed on through generations, sometimes they're not taken care of, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this generation was not as financially successful as the prior generations or whatever, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of times when those things, when that structure goes away, it ends that generation's lineage of passing it on.
Yeah.
And there we have effectively cut a whole family tree out of the outdoors. And I can't live with the thought that I didn't do something to help change that aspect, and also to do something to start reinventing the moral fiber that holds families together, right? Sitting at a table, eating together, that's pretty much gone by the wayside. All families, even, you know, extended families, all meeting somewhere in the outdoors for vacation and have fun. Well, that was the mission behind Renovation Hunters. And after one season of doing this, it has been amazing. And there is a ton. You go to HGTV or wherever, there is so many cookie cutter renovation shows, and I said, well, I don't want to be there. Yeah, I don't want to be there.
And you see them.
Over and over again. And it's like they take 6 months to a year. The people are paying for the renovation, and they'll take a 6-8 month renovation and put it in one 22-minute show. And there is no way you can comprehend what really went into that. There's no history about the family. There's no history about the structure. There's no history about the town. Yeah. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. Get this, we're totally renovating the house and the property. We'll even put in food plots, help them with deer stand placement, tree stand placements.
Tremendous.
Oh, I mean, building giant barbecue pits for them. The whole thing, we do it in 8 days. From day 1 to day 2.
Wow.
And on top of that, during that 8 days, we're going to make 3 episodes so everybody sees the real story, the story of the town. Our theme song is by Matt Tucker, and this song is released, and it's called Tiny Towns. And that song is everything about the people in tiny towns. It's about rural America, and it's about Renovation Hunters. It is perfect. So we do it in 8 days. We do 3 episodes. We tell you something about the history of the area, the history of that family's lineage, and then the history of that structure. You know, we actually in Nebraska, a lady was still in there. She was 93 or 94 years old, who was born in the upstairs room. It was a 118-year-old house. She was born in that room.
That's history.
That's history, and just a wonderful thing, man. Hyannis, Nebraska, out in the middle of nowhere, a population under 200, but the most unbelievable cowboy town you've ever met. Everybody only knows one thing: is to help each other out, and it's not like any place you've ever been.
Well, we've lost that.
No doubt. Oh, absolutely.
It takes a village. Everybody's, me.
Oh, right.
It wasn't uncommon as a kid running through the neighborhood that the neighbor would reprimand you. And your parents would say, "What'd you do?"
Exactly.
Not, "Why'd you yell at my kid?"
Yeah, exactly. Everybody helped everybody, right? It was a we thing, and we has transferred to me this day and time, and we've got to get back to we. So, helping with the moral fiber thing, we want to do something that makes people sit down at a table and eat together. So in every one of these builds, we do a custom hand-built dining room table that goes in every one of them, and it's done to, we find out about this family or loves, and everyone is built one of a kind to that family for that family's needs. And it is, beautiful art. Our friends at Bear Brother Fine Hardwoods, they came on as the title because they have the same passions we do, and it is so great. All of our partners are amazing. We don't call them sponsors because they're not sponsors. They're partners. Not only do they help us pay for all this, but they show up and work for free.
Wow.
I mean, our mass crew is there every week, but every week that we have a build, all of these partners show up and want to be there to give a hand. It shows you that there are still people in this country and still businesses in this country that still believe in family first.
Yep.
And it's just a great thing, man. It's nice to go home, lay your pillow down lay your head down on your pillow, and just say, you know what, we did something good today.
Well, I was through your Facebook page, Renovation Hunters, last night, and some of the work is really spectacular.
Well, yeah.
I like the bar you got.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. We're actually building a garage bar right now for the premiere show. We're doing a big premiere for all of our partners. We're going to do red carpet, the whole thing. We're building a big garage bar for them. But yeah, I mean, we built in Nebraska, we took an old metal building and turned it into a beautiful speakeasy. So not only did we do the house, we did the metal building and all this. And
does that come with a still?
No, ain't none of those. We ain't got none of those. ATF, stay at home. We don't have any. And every family that we have revealed, men and women have had tears just running out of their eyes. And you look over, we had one in Virginia, and when all this came down and the things that came out of their mouth was talking about how this reminded them how special their family was and how much they miss all their extended family. Yep. They sat there and said that. I turned to Kevin Tarkovich, who is our superintendent and my cohort on the show, and I looked at him and said, you know what, we could never do another one. Mission complete.
Well, I know from experience, hunting camp is just a place where you throw your pillow down, you're out in the morning. Not the greatest or female-friendly place.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was ours. We liked it. A renovation brings the family into it, makes them feel at home, more comfortable, and it's not,
Hey guys, think about it. Think about this. Going hunting all these times, and your wife's talking about, you're going hunting again? You're going hunting again? You give her a nice place to go. Yep. and a really beautiful place to be. You get to go way more often.
She could come with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You go out hunting and maybe
have a meal when you get back.
Yeah.
built-in biscuit maker in this camp. No, it is, and the great thing about it is when you get both of the heads of the family involved and loving and part of the heritage, then it's a sure thing that is passing down through those kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now let's take a giant step back. You started with Carolina Outdoors.
Woo! Yes, sir. Actually, if you want to take a little further step back into the 90s, there was Carolina Outdoors Radio Network.
That's right.
That's how I was born into Carolina Outdoors. It was so funny. I had I guess I wanted to was going through a lot of changes in life, and my whole family thing got restructured with a divorce, and I've been in the car business for a long time, and running a dealership, and I said, I got through this. I want to do something that I love, that I have more passion for. Mm-hmm. And one of the local owners of a radio station, small radio station in Rock Hill, South Carolina, Manning Kimmel, come to me and said, you really ought to do a radio show. What would you do one about if you wanted to? If we put one around you, what would you do? I said, I'd do it about the outdoors, because that was my love, right? Sure. And so Carolina Outdoors Radio was born. Well, next thing you know, you hear another radio owner that owns some radio stations down in lower South Carolina and over into Georgia was driving through and heard the radio show. It calls me up and says, hey, would you drive down there and do a radio show here on a different night? I said, why don't we, is there not a way we can do it on the same night? So I did some investigating called Clear Channel. Sure. We put it up on Clear Channel. Everybody got their own code. And next thing you know, Carolina Outdoors Radio Network was born. And it was really cool. So like all the fishing reports, I had different guides and charters that would call and give us a fishing report so everybody could listen to hear what was running on the fishing stuff. We did the same thing with hunting. And so one of the guys down in Charleston called me up and he goes, hey, there's rumors you're going to start a TV show, Carolina Outdoors. I said, yes, sir, that's going to happen. He goes, well, I got one of your biggest fans that listens to your radio show wants to be on your first TV show. And I said, okay, who is it? He goes, well, it's Dan Marino. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, Dan Marino comes fishing with me every year. He listens to your radio broadcast when he's here. And when I told him that you were going to do a TV show, and he said, well, have him come down here and let's do a fishing show. The very first one. I was like, how do I go wrong there? Yes, I'm going down there and filming my very first TV show with Dan Marino.
That's a hell of a way to start.
So I was like, well, you know what? This might not be a bad idea. So we went down, had a blast. We still have that show to this day. I want to get it and put it up on social media for everybody to see, not only how long ago what I look like that long ago, but to see where it all started.
We were all young at one point.
Yeah.
I had no idea Dan Marino was an outdoorsman.
No, he was a fisherman, big fisherman. He even stocked his lakes in Florida with peacock bass from South America.
Wow.
Because he loved fishing that much. Really good kid. Really good guy. Brought both of his kids, and one of them's autistic, and we had just a blast with him. And it was just fun. Man, it was a great way to kick off a TV career in the outdoors.
You really had a storied and progressive career.
Oh yeah. Before that, I was a tire changer in NASCAR. Then after that, I decided I wanted to go race on my own, so I built my own race team and started racing a lot of dirt track races, did some asphalt races, and I made a small fortune doing that out of a big one. Yeah, woo, that's an expensive venture, and I purposely, I'll go to the NASCAR races because I know I don't have the means to start a NASCAR team, and I'm too old to start racing NASCAR. But I stay away from them dirt tracks because I can still go do a dirt car, and that's why I stay away from them, because it's probably the only drug I've ever had in life.
So racing is very much like hunting. You just keep throwing money at it.
And hope for a return.
Yep.
Yeah. Or hope your wife don't catch all the money you're throwing at it, right?
All right. Well, where can we find Renovation TV?
Renovation Hunters social media is Renovation Hunters is on Instagram, Facebook, soon coming to TikTok. You can find it only on the Outdoor Channel. It is a network exclusive original. You can soon to find it on MOTV. But the great thing is now, with all the expansion that the Outdoor Channel has done, you can get it on Hulu, Sling, Roku, Friendly, you name it, it's there. Samsung TV on Outdoor America. That's 100 million connected devices. If you want us, you can find us.
I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in. And
Man, appreciate it. Thank you.
That's great.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a non-profit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.